So what do you do when you find a property? You want to write an LOI, a letter of intent. And that's what we're going to cover today. If this is the first time we're meeting, my name is Tim Diesel and I'm a commercial real estate consultant. This channel is designed to give you tips and strategies in your business to help you excel and maximize profits. All right, so a letter of intent, when do you actually use one? And prior to writing a contract, trying to get a real offer, we want to assess the situation with the seller. So we don't want to get into some lengthy contract if the seller has no intention of taking our offer. So we write a letter of intent. And this is not really a binding contract. This is, hey, look, we're interested and these are the terms we're offering. And if you guys haven't seen my video that I did about how you relate property and dating, this is almost the same thing. You kind of want to show them that you're interested and you're striking up a conversation. All right, so letter of intent needs to have a few things. What's the first thing it needs to have? All right, so the first thing you need to have is the property and the legal description. So you have the address, so you have 123 Main Street, and then you want to have the legal description. The reason why this is important is if you're buying a 10-unit building and there is a separate plot of land, if you don't have that legal description in the LOI, when it comes time to go through the contract, that's something missing there that could be a problem. So make sure you get that. If you don't have that initially, make sure you add it in later. You got to have the property that you're talking about. All right, next is the buyer and the seller. Who's buying the property, who's selling the property. Got to have these guys somewhere on there. If it's a corporation, that's fine. If you don't know exactly what entity owns it, or maybe you don't know what you're going to buy it in, make sure you have some kind of assignability on there or to be determined, or something indicating that you're going to open up a corporation or LLC of some sort prior to closing. Next, we got to have price. How much are we paying for this property? What are, you really don't know exactly what they're going to accept, but let's say it's $1 million and you want to offer $800,000. Well, you don't know exactly what it's going to be, but you're going to negotiate on the LOI. So you're going to offer $1 million or $800,000 or whatever, and they're going to counter back. So don't take too much into price. You just want to kind of gauge where they are with this. So put the price you want to pay. Next, we're going to have deposit. How much of a deposit are we putting down? We're going to indicate that here. So make sure you put something in there because it's not a valid contract without a deposit. After that, we're going to have our inspection. What is our inspection period? How long is it going to be? Is it 2 weeks? Is it 30 days? Is it 60 days? Got to have our inspection period. So make sure you add that on there as well. After that, we're going to have our financing terms. How are we paying for this property? Are we paying cash? Are we getting a loan? Seller financing? Look, guys, you got to get everything on the table. If you're asking for owner financing, make sure you ask for it here. Do not ask for owner financing after you've already agreed to the terms. I've seen this happen so many times. Whatever you want, this is the time to get it out in the open. Talk about it. What do we want? Put your financing terms there. If you have any contingencies, this is probably the time to add them in. Closing. How much time do we need to close? Can we close in 30 days, 60 days? What do we need? You got to give them something. And usually you don't know the other party's situation. But if you can do it in 60 days, do it in 60 days. Do not say you can do it sooner if you can't get it done sooner. All right, so let's recap real quick. Property description. Make sure you put the property information on there as much as you possibly know. Buyer and seller. Who's buying, who's selling the property. That's easy enough. Price. How much are we paying for this property? Deposit. How much are we putting down towards the deposit? Now, where is the deposit going to be held? Make sure you put the title company. Put your title company. You don't know who their title company is. So it's going to be held in the deposit. If you can, I have a podcast about how you want to close with your own title company. You can do that. Ask to use your own title company to close the deal with your own title company also. But make sure you write that in there. Inspection time. Is it 30 days inspection? Financial? Is it physical? Make sure you outline those details. Financing. How are we financing the property? Is the owner gonna carry some note, some kind of balance on the property, or is it all us? Make sure you spell out those terms for them. And your closing. When are you closing the deal? Now, this is meant to be a short form LOI, a basic idea. You can get more detailed and more specific and spell out a lot more information. The most important thing I will tell you, when it comes to your due diligence period, you make sure this inspection period does not start until you have all the documentation. That's your effective date. Your effective date is when you receive all the information. Because as I mentioned before, once you're in contract and you have a 10 or 15 or 30-day inspection deadline, if it's a 30-day inspection, the seller really has no motivation to get you all the documents. So if you say, look, I'm not giving you a deposit until I get everything. My inspection period does not start until I have all the paperwork to make a decision. That kind of motivates them a little more to, get moving. So you really want to, that's one thing I can tell you is your effective date is when you receive all the documentation. All right, guys, question of the day. Have you been using an LOI and is it a little bit different? If you're using like a 5 or 6 page LOI or you're just using one sheet, I'd like to know what kind of LOI are you using? All right, guys, that's all I got for you. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and look out for more stuff. I'm gonna walk you through the entire process. I have tons more content coming your way. Hope you enjoyed it.